Good morning, golfers. I'm in my 3D motion capture studio here. Time for another Tip Tuesday. Today I want to talk a little bit more about how to get a powerful athletic backswing and the idea of coil. You know, in the golf swing, the upper body really controls the takeaway and the start of the backswing. Swing the arms, turn the chest. The lower body has to stay flexed and athletic and maybe even a little resistant as we wind the upper body against that lower body to introduce torque and load you up so you can unwind, lead with the legs and the hips, and hit a great shot, a more powerful shot. So I want to use my 3D motion capture software to teach you something today. This is a tour average golfer right here, based on all professionals that Gears 3D motion capture has studied. And I've got this player, if you have a look here, right at waist high. We call that 9 o'clock on a clock face as that club reaches waist high. And if I go to my above view again and we have a look, you can see here that the shoulders have turned 30 degrees by the time the club reaches waist high. The hips have moved 14.5 degrees, so about half as much. The knees have only moved 0.1, and this is really important to understand. At this point in the golf swing, we really don't need to use the legs at all yet. We're just starting to swing the club to our back leg a little bit. That introduces the concept of winding up or coiling. Ben Hogan, 1957, pardon the old man glasses here, but Ben Hogan, 1957, said, "On the backswing, the shoulders are always ahead of the hips as they turn. The shoulders start turning immediately, the hips do not. Just before the hands reach hip level, the shoulders as they turn start pulling the hips around." So it's actually the responsibility of your upper body, the swinging of the arms and the turning of the shoulders, to start winding you. And you don't want a lot of lower body action. Beginners are notorious for spinning everything at once, and they don't build that torque or that coil. Let's bring this golfer right up to the top and see what that looks like. So we'll just go to face on here and we'll swing this Tour Pro right up to the top and have a look at the kind of numbers we have. Now, at the top of the golf swing, this Golf Pro has 95 degrees of shoulder rotation. So a nice big turn, but not a crazy one. This is an average swing with a mid-iron. Hip turn, 37.9, so under 40 degrees of hip turn. And the knees have only gone 13.7 degrees. Now, honestly, this avatar was a little bit open at the start. So I'd say 15 degrees of knee motion or of rotation, 40 degrees of hip turn, and about 98 degrees of shoulder turn would be about right. And that's the sort of thing you want to develop. It's not about dancing around with your lower body. You can release that lead heel a little bit. That front leg can be a little more active if you like being a little more rhythmic in your golf swing. But you need to understand the concept of winding up. We turn the upper body over the lower body. The lower body stays athletic. It allows that turn to happen, but that back leg has to stabilize you. 98 degrees of shoulder turn, 40 degrees of hip turn, 15 degrees of knee turn are really great numbers to go after. Next time you're practicing, work on starting your golf swing with shoulders and arms swinging, and literally try to hold off that belt buckle for a couple of seconds. I think it'll help you play better golf.